What's up, everybody? I'm Caleb also known as NFL Caleb 22, and this is Betting the NFL. But I do not have my co-host with me, DWeezy, but he'll be back. He'll be back soon. Um, for now, for this show, it's just going to be me solo. So might be a quicker show, but that's okay. I'm still going to get you the information that you guys need to make your bets, your futures bets, because that's what we're going to talk about in this episode as we go through the off season, right up until the start of the season, going through each division and making our NFL futures bets. Uh, we will we will go over every single division, and this week is the NFC North, and we'll take you through each team's odds to win it, their odds to go over under their win total, and their odds to make the playoffs. So we'll go through each team as we have been doing. Have a lot of fun with this, so I like doing it. So we're gonna keep trying to make you guys money because that is the goal of this show. No matter if you go my opinion, no matter go DWeezy's opinions, doesn't matter. As long as you're making money, that is what we're trying to do here. And we'll before we get started, if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you really want to help us out, you can join our Patreon. A link is in the description down below. But honestly, I just thank you all for watching. Anybody who tunes in for this, really appreciate it. So yeah, we'll get started. We'll start off with the Detroit Lions, who have the best odds to win the division at plus 135, and you can get that at various sports books online, or if you're in Vegas like me, you can get them at probably any casino. The over under win total is set at 10.5, and so yeah, we'll go back into 2023, and they went 12-5, first in the NFC North. Lions, they had been improving every year with Dan Campbell. They tied for their franchise record for wins. Got to the playoffs, beat the Bucks, beat the Rams, and they got to the NFC Championship for the first time since '91. But then they do lose to the San Francisco 49ers. And that's where the season ended. But definitely big improvements there. In the off season, they did add Carlton Davis in a trade. They added defensive tackle DJ Reader, defensive end Marcus Davenport, guard Kevin Zeitler, but they did lose Jonah Jackson, guard, safety CJ Gardner Johnson, receiver Josh Reynolds, and safety Will Harris. But in the draft, they take cornerback Terrion Arnold out of Alabama in round 1. They take in round 2 Ennis Rackstraw, don't know how to say the name, cornerback out of Missouri. And in round 4, they take Giovanni Manu out of British Columbia. So as far as going into the 2024 season, and where I'm putting my money on the lines, they still have their very explosive offense that they had last year. They have a lot of weapons. They have Stafford there, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got their running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs. So they still look good to me. I mean, they saw, and the most important part, the key to their offense is that offensive coordinator. That he went out there looking for different jobs here and there. Didn't find the situation he liked, so he decided to stay on with the Lions, and I think that's going to be the big difference there. Similar to what Dan Quinn did with the Cowboys. He stayed on while he had other head coaching opportunities, but he decided to stay in Dallas for a while, and that seems like what this guy is doing as well, which does go in their favor. They went hard in the offseason to fix their secondary problems, so I like what they did there, bringing them some guys through the draft, especially if they go cornerback. So they should be better there. They should be better. But the real thing I like is the numbers. They get a plus number to win the division. That's great because I think they're definitely the favorite for a reason. So that plus 135 to win the division. I'm gonna take that all day. As far as the over and under at 10.5, definitely like though if they're gonna win division, they're gonna need to win over 10.5 games, probably get to 11. And as far as you can get that number at minus 110, the over at DraftKings, and then the minus 245 over 9.5 for a yes to make the playoffs. Not the best number, but that's still fair. You can get a little bit better number at minus 240 um, for yes at DraftKings. So definitely like that one as well. So I'll definitely put my money on those. All right. Before we get on to our next team, we gotta say what's up to Adelia. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. All right, we'll get to the second team with the best odds, team with the second best odds, and that is the Green Bay Packers. They're plus 230 to win the division. You can get that at multiple sports books. The over/under win total is set at 9.5. And then we can take a look back at what they did in 2023. They were second in the NFC North. They went 9-8, made the playoffs as a 7th seed. They did it with Jordan Love taking over for longtime starter, if you draw them Aaron Rodgers, but he got to start in his first full season. But at first it didn't look too good. First they had a kind of a rocky start. They went 3-6 through about 9 games. They finished 6-2, beating. They beat my Cowboys in the wild card. I hate to say that, but yeah, obviously they kicked our ass. But they in the next week they did fall short against the Niners, and that's where the season ended. But it ended kind of even though they did get beat, kind of ended on a good note for the future at least, knowing that they had such a young team and that they could only grow from there. But in the offseason, they did get safety Xavier McKinney. They took running back Josh Jacobs. So those are 2 big key offseason additions. And I'll say what's up to my dad. I don't know why I'm saying hey guys when it's just me, but okay. But they did lose guard John Runyon, safety Darnell Savage, running back Aaron Jones, and safety Jonathan Owens. They drafted in round 1. They took offensive tackle Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. In round 2, they take Adrian Cooper, linebacker at Texas. And then in another round 2 pick, they took Javon Bullard, safety out of Georgia. And then in round 3, they take running back Marshawn Lloyd out of USC. I think last season, like I was talking about, that it was kind of the start of a young team ascension. I believe they can build off what they did last season going forward. I think they only get better. I really do coming into the season. So I'll take I'll probably split a little bit money. I'll spend a little more money on a plus 230. I think they have a good chance. I think they'll be fighting with the Detroit Lions for that division. I think it's going to come down to the last few games at the end of the year. So I don't mind taking a plus 230. I think that's pretty good odds for them to win this division. I don't mind that at all. Especially, I think they can definitely get better from what they did, winning 9 games last year. If they just they only have to win a couple more to hit that over 10.5, and you get plus 150 at DraftKings. So definitely like that 2+ numbers right there. Definitely take that. It's minus 155 for a yes to make the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you can take that. That's pretty decent. It's pretty decent numbers. Best number you're gonna get. So I'll definitely I'll put my money on that one. And as far as I think the quarterback Jordan Love, they're young receivers. Obviously, they don't have like a star-studded number 1 receiver, but I still think they can make do what they got. They got better throughout the season last year. Started, like I said, like I mentioned, they had rock star, they got better, and so I don't see why they couldn't get better this going 2024. So I'm gonna put my money. I'm gonna put my money on the Packers. I do like them. I do like them. All right, we'll get to the team with the third best odds to win this division. That is the Chicago Bears. They are plus 340 at FanDuel to win the NFC North. Their over under win total is set at 8.5 wins. And we'll take a look back at what they did in 2023. And they went 7-10, fourth in the NFC North. Did not make the playoffs. They had a terrible start to the season. They went 0-4 with Justin Fields. They had kind of an up and down season after that. Um, you know, uh, just Fields got hurt. Tyson Bagent had to come in. Just a lot up and downs for them. But they do still had the number one pick from the trade that they made with the Panthers, so they had their back pocket. But so with that number one pick, they decide to move on from Fields. He goes to the Steelers, and they go quarterback in the draft. Before we get there, we go see what they did in free agency during the offseason. They did trade for Keenan Allen, received from the Chargers. They took center. They also signed center Ryan Bates, signed running back DeAndre Swift, safety Kevin Byard, tight end Gerald Everett, and safety John Owens. They did lose a receiver Darnell Mooney. He used to tackle Justin Jones, guard Cody Whitehair, guard Dan Feeney, and safety Eddie Jackson. But in this, we come back to the draft, and of course they were going to get a quarterback. And then with the number one pick, they take Caleb Williams out of USC. And then they had their own first round pick, and they take Rome Adunze out of Washington. So two big offensive guys that they think they can go along with what they already had coming into the season. So they hope to have a pretty explosive offense. I'm just not sure that they will. Um, I don't. I'm not big. I don't really believe in the Bears, specifically in their ability to draft quarterbacks or to find any quarterback at all, because they've never done it in their whole history of the Bears. So I'm gonna bank off that. I like following trends. I especially like trends that have gone on for a long span of time. And so the trend is that the Bears don't get good quarterbacks. I'm not going to bet on that. The fact that this is the time that they are going to find a good quarterback. Everybody can talk, all praise them as much as they want until I see it. Until I see that trend change, I'm not willing to put my bet money on it, and I don't think you guys should either. Um, so until that shift, and until he shows me, till that there's a difference, and Caleb Williams shows what he can do, I'm not going to put my money on him. Um, you know, so yeah, I'm going to take no. There's going to be no money on that plus number to win the division. I'm going to take the plus 162 on the under 8.5 wins, and then I'm going to put money on that. I can't believe it. I can't. All but one sports book has them making the playoffs as a favorite. So I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to take a plus 110 for them to not make the playoffs. And that's where I'm putting my money. You can guys do what you want. You believe if you're a big believer in him, you think he's going to change this whole Bears franchise around. I just don't think that's going to happen. And until I see it, that's the way I'm going. All right. We'll get to the final team in this division with the worst odds to win it. And that is the Minnesota Vikings. They are plus 950 to win it, which is not that bad, honestly. I thought that would be a lot longer odds for them, but that is the number. You get that at DraftKings. The over under win total is at 6.5. And we'll take a look back at 2023, and they went 7-10. They were third in the NFC North. They got off to a rough start, 0-3 to start the season. Then they got back on track. Kirk Cousins was looking good, but then he got hurt for the season, tore his Achilles, and that's where their season completely fell off. I mean, they had a little tiny bit of a jolt with Josh Downs, but quickly fizzled out, and they went 1-6 in the last 7 games. So yeah, pretty bad end of the season for them. But in the offseason, they do get defensive end Jonathan Grignard, linebacker Blake Cashman, linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, and they just signed Stephon Gilmore, which is a good get, quarterback, and then obviously they signed quarterback Sam Darnold and running back Aaron Jones. They do lose, obviously, the big one, Kirk Cousins, linebacker Danielle Hunter, defensive end DJ Wonnum, linebacker Jordan Hicks, defensive end Mark Davenport, and receiver KJ Osborne. In the draft, they take in round 1 quarterback JJ McCarthy out of Michigan, and then they go back in round 1. They also take linebacker Dallas Turner out of Alabama. This team had a lot of turnover, a lot of different guys coming in and out, basically changing their entire look of their offense. Obviously, it's always a big difference when they're changing up quarterbacks. And then you have J.J. McCarthy out for the season now with his injury that he just got. And now it looks like they're going to go with Sam Darnold for the whole way. And, obviously with a lot of different players coming in and out, it's going to have an adjustment period. But just the fact alone that their quarterback is Sam Darnold does not give you much hope and does not make you feel good about putting your money there. And I'm not going to tell you, even though I have in the past, and thought you should have put some money on Sam Darnold. I'm not going to make that mistake. You do not want to put your money on Sam Darnold. Take it from me. I've learned my lesson. Just don't do it. It's not going to turn out well for you. So that is my advice, to not put your money for plus 950 at all. Don't put no money for them to win this division, especially when they have Lions and the Packers and just, better teams within their own division. They just can't compete with them. At 6.5 wins, that's tough. I mean, they could go over, but I'm just not willing to bet on them. Like I said, don't put your money on Sam Darnold. So take the under at plus 155 as the best number you can get as of now. But and then you can get minus 240 for no on the playoffs, and that's the best number. So definitely favorite to not make the playoffs. Vegas does not see them as a contender at all for this division, nor for making the playoffs at all. So I'm going to ride with what Vegas thinks and go with kind of fade them and put my money against the Vikings having much success this season. But that is all the teams in this division. And I'll wrap up our NFC North talk. So that is our show. Next week, we'll be getting to the AFC North. That is the last team in the AFC that we have to tackle. And as we go through each division, we'll wrap it up pretty quick because the season's getting here pretty quick. It's week 2 of the preseason. The season, week 1 on the regular season's coming quick, but there's still time to get your bets in. So, get your money in, place your bets. But you can find me at NFLKF22 on Instagram and X/Twitter. And then you can find me on this channel with Ferris, my co-host on Your Friends Battle Rivals. That's every Friday at 3 o'clock, talking Cowboys, talking Giants. We'll talk about the week 2 preseason games and go over all the news and notes that you want to know about those teams. So please tune in for that. As for now, like I always say, let's get ready to make that money.